Today we are going to deliberate on Introduction to Biotechnology. What we are going to discuss today. Today, let us know what is biotechnology that all of us might be knowing, but a different perspective I'm trying to give you. And let us see how biotechnology has evolved from ancient classical to modern biotechnology, and biotechnology, how it is an interdisciplinary science that every science person should be involved in this biotechnology. And industry overview is much more important when we are talking about a subject like biotechnology, and let us know about various sectors of biotechnology, how we can integrate our own specialization into biotechnology, and some interesting biotech product examples I'm going to give you. I'll try to finish my talk within 40 minutes, and I expect questions or a discussion at the end. What is biotechnology? The use of biology to solve problems and make useful products. That is biotechnology. Biotechnology is a technological advancement in biotechnology where we are using either living organisms or living processes for the benefit of humankind. Bio plus technology is living things plus use of knowledge, which is going to benefit the humankind. Evolution of biotechnology, it is very interesting. Ancient biotechnology, that is pre-1800, it was the necessity is the mother of the invention, right? When people need, they were thinking only about food, shelter, and clothing. These are the three important things at that time. There, people started domesticating plants, and also they started preserving food and baking the food and making biotechnology, though it is not derived as biotechnology at that time, but was that this is the history of ancient biotechnology. Coming to classical biotechnology, which has developed in between 1800 to mid 20th century, where food, health, and hope are the major concerns because of the population explosion, and transfer of genetic information are the core segments of biotechnology. Because of that, Mendelian principles have come out and people started deciphering the genetic information, and that has become core biotechnological principles where it is being used for producing more food and having good health and having little more luxury of having the testing kits, and all those things have started during that time. Modern biotechnology is the revolution of scientific discoveries where food, not only food, a quality of food, and also the quantity of the food for the bigger cause, and also post-harvest protections. Apart from this, longevity and health. You know, today we have increased the longevity. Earlier it was just 60 years. Average lifespan was 60 years. Now it has been increased. And quality of life, when it comes to either travel or health or a luxury or having any kind of entertainment, everything has become because of this scientific revolutionaries, and these discoveries are really made our life very simple. But unfortunately, the same discoveries, because of little misuse and little problematic thinking, and we don't care about the environment, started causing problems also. Again, biotechnology has given so many solutions. Since 1970s, biotechnology is referred to use of molecular and microbial techniques for the benefit of human beings. Now, biotechnology is no more just brewing and baking. Biotechnology is, it is a CRISPR technology. It is a molecular technology. It is PCR technology. These are all the things which are came into picture after 1970s. Let us enter into this fascinating world of biotechnology. It always amazes me how people could able to connect it to various disciplines. Biotechnology is an interdisciplinary science, isn't it? You can connect biotechnology to anything, everything. You can connect it to even to Mars. You can connect it to medical, biophysics, biochemistry, biomedical instrumentation, bio nanotechnology, modeling, neural engineering. You can artificial organ transplantation, xenotransplantation, prosthetic devices, everything, biosensors, everything to make human life comfortable. Biotechnology has emerged. That means even you are a chemist, you have a place in biotechnology. You are a physicist, you have a place in biotechnology. A mathematician has got a place in biotechnology, and biotechnology absorbed like Mother Earth everybody into them. And all of us together can bring a wonderful, beautiful earth by utilizing the tools and technologies of biotechnology for the welfare of the humankind. ITBT. When it comes to Karnataka, long time back, I really heard a very nice saying from one of the VGPT members in one of the meetings. ITBT. How come IT and BT both are two different things? There is no connection in between these two things. Why government of Karnataka has come out with Department of IT, BT and Science and Technology? It is a very big vision. Somebody said IT means India today and Bharat tomorrow. Today, bio-IT, biotechnology merged with IT also. Bio-IT is a big bioeconomy process. In 2020, India's bioeconomy was valued at $70.2 billion. The industry ramped up vaccine capabilities. We have increased, scaled up COVID testing facilities, and the economic stagnation which has happened due to COVID-19 pandemic is being beaten by the biotechnology with the opportunities. All the challenges due to COVID-19 have been converted into opportunities by these biotechnologies. World has become earlier vaccines used to take 10 years to develop a vaccine. We need 8 to 10 years. With the advancement of technology, we could able to get it within 1.5 years. Within less than 1 year, people started doing clinical trials. And there were so many vaccines into picture. Earlier, there was only one type of vaccine. Now we have mRNA vaccines. You have so many vaccines, and everything started parallelly. You have options. You have so many things in these things. Otherwise, that dangerous COVID-19 could not have put it to an end. The Omicron wave, which was supposed to be a wave which will batter the many advanced countries like US and UK, we could able to sustain because of this vaccination drives which have been done by our biotechnologists and government of India and government of Karnataka. Thanks to the proactive nature of the people, also we accepted biotechnology to make our life beautiful. Over 4,237 biotech startups are there in India. Unbelievable number, isn't it? Nearly 25% jump in its base from 2019. It is over 4,200 and odd biotech startups are there. I'm talking about only biotech startups after 2019. And India's vision is having 10,000 biotech startups from 2024. That is the vision. This is, I'm not telling these figures. These figures have been given in bioeconomy, which has been given by DBT, Government of India. By 2025, the bioeconomy is supposed to reach $150 billion. Amazing numbers and mind-boggling sentences. See, Karnataka, coming to Karnataka, we always have a unique place. The first biotech policy is being given by Karnataka, and Karnataka is being considered as startup capital of India and biotech capital of India. We consider that we are like Boston corridor. Karnataka is emerging, and we have 33% of national bioeconomy share. We should be proud of it. Today we are discussing about this biotechnology, and we should all feel proud and happy to be biotechnologists. Every science person has got a place in biotechnology. 54% of the workforce in biotechnology is from Karnataka. Karnataka KSTA, Academy, Scientific Academy, along with Padma Shri group of institutions, I proudly announce that 54% of the workforce is being shared by us from Karnataka to the nation. Now, I was talking about interdisciplinary nature of biotechnology. As it is introductory talk, I just want to give a glimpse of everything. What is this biotechnology? You have three major segments in biotechnology. When you are talking about biotechnology, you have to improve plants, or for plants or by plants, or you have to improve for animals or by animals, and you have to improve for microbes and by microbes. That's all biotechnology. Every field, whichever field you touch upon, you need to touch one of these three things. If you take medical biotechnology, again, one of these three things, marine biotechnology, one of these three things, forensic biotechnology, one of these three things, nanobiotechnology, one of these three things, bioinformation technology, though you use information technology, but again, it is the lessons and the information what you got it from plants, animals, and microbials. See the beauty of this biotechnology. As soon as this COVID-19 pandemic has been hit, immediately IIT Kharagpur and so many people have opened up entire genetic information about COVID-19 is available. That made our vaccine job easy. That made our to tackle COVID-19. Though we lost lives, but it is not as big as lives we are losing with other natural calamities. But still, dying with a virus is disastrous. I don't like it, but still we could able to manage with the advancement in biotechnology. And with food biotechnology, our life has become very easy. I will talk about these individual things by giving some examples, and one or two things I'm not touching, but most of the things I'm going to give you some interesting and curious examples. Coming to plant biotechnology, it is very close to my heart. I consider myself as a plant scientist rather than plant biotechnologist. I love to be plant scientist. There are two amazing pictures here. These are all the real pictures. These are not the pictures which are graphics or something else. Have you seen that banana? One banana complete bunch is enough for one function, isn't it? Such a huge banana. Now, in plant biotechnology, again, there are three major segments. If you want to understand plant biotechnology is being done for helping out plant propagators or cultivators. That means you use plant biotechnology for production of large number of planting stocks, for production of elite genotypes, for improve the crop by using plant tissue culture technology. That is the first major area of biotechnology. When you are doing plant tissue culture, people have started this plant tissue culture only to prove cell theory. They never imagined that plant tissue culture will become a complete commercial segment and a very, very important area of biotechnology. Today, almost banana cultivation, you go anywhere, even cotton, though we say that BT cotton is not accepted by farmers, but silently it has gone into the farmer's mind. People are using it. Everywhere, banana, conventional cultivation is not there. Nobody is using suckers now. Everyone is using banana saplings which are produced by tissue culture technology. The major advantage is they are viral free, and you can select this kind of banana and multiply lakhs and lakhs together with the same characteristics of the mother. So you can clone them and you can have this clonal propagation by using plant tissue culture. When it comes to plant tissue culture, I will say that it is a queen and servant of plant biotechnology. It is a queen when it comes to plant propagation, but it is a servant when it comes to transgenic plants and secondary metabolite production. What is this secondary metabolite production? Secondary metabolite production is, see, plants produce secondary metabolites, which is of secondary in function. What are the primary metabolites? Primary metabolites are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and vitamins. And these primary metabolites are required for the primary functions, that is for the growth and development. When it comes to secondary functions, defense, pollination, attracting the pollinators, all these things are secondary metabolites. And stress factors, withstanding the stress factors. If you feel cold, you will go and wear a jacket. Where do plants go? They have to sustain, they have to stay there where they are, and they have to combat these stress conditions. What do? They produce a lot of chemicals, lot of secondary metabolites which can withstand salt stress, temperature stress, drought stress, and what not, what else. Plants do get diseases. When they get diseases, they have to fight. They fight by producing phytoalexins, by producing many, many secondary compounds. They will try to kill the microbes, pathogens. Fortunately for human beings, unfortunately for plants, these secondary metabolites are of Very, very important for humankind. Why unfortunately for plants? Because we try to exploit them. We go into the forest and take them left, right, center and use them. And in such a scenario, plants are being used for various purposes. For example, it goes into textiles, it goes into dyes, it goes into pharma, it goes into nutrition, it goes into food, it goes into colors, it goes into ice cream industries, it goes into what else, what not. It is into every other segment plant secondary metabolites are used. In such a scenario, if you keep on, even today, 25% prescription drugs are from plants. 75% of world's ethnic population depend on plants. When you have COVID-19, immediately this nutraceutical segment has grown 3000%. Can you believe it? There were no Vaithanya, Ashwagandha available in the markets. If you go and see in the medical shops, many of this Ashwagandha, Triphala, curcumin, all these things are out of stock. They have grown 390%, more than that. Everybody started using it. When we started using it, okay, turmeric at least we cultivate and get it. What about certain rare plants, which we are still dependent on the forest? We are not cultivating them because cultivation protocols are not there. And sometimes there are some interesting examples like Taxol and Camptothecin, which are known compounds to cure breast and lung cancers, and they are being taken from trees. If you want to treat one ovarian cancer patient, you need to kill 360-year-old trees. Imagine, even if you want to cultivate, you need to wait for 60 years. Patient will not wait for that time, and you cannot cultivate them. In such a scenario, your plant biotechnology offered an immense solution. What is that? You can grow plant cells, tissues, or organs in reactors and produce these compounds within 21 days, because plant life cycle is 21 days. When it is physically, physiologically totipotent, why not chemically? Entire DNA, which is required to produce these compounds, are present in the cells. Why do plants produce the secondary metabolites in very, very low quantities? We call it as high value, low volume compounds, because you know karate, you will not be practicing day in, day out, right? You will wait when it is required. When the defense system requires, then only plant starts producing. It will not waste its energy. We waste a lot of energy. Even animal secondary metabolites like venom. Venom is not produced whenever you want. Venom is produced and stored it because it takes 1 month for a snake to produce venom. It uses, first it gives a false bite. It will not give a real bite. Because of the scariness, people will die. That is a different story. But when the secondary metabolite are produced, plants need a lot of energy it has to produce, and it is a defense response. When it is not required, it will not produce. In such a scenario, we can create all this kind of stress conditions and defense responses we can trigger and produce the secondary metabolites. You can have saffron, which is world's costliest spice. You can produce vanillin, you can produce Taxol, you can produce what else, what not in plant tissue culture system. And this is very less worked out thing in India, because to produce these things, they directly jumped from year to year. From plant tissue culture to transgenic plants, they jumped, and in between the most important version, they neglected. Now, this is the right time, my dear participants. You can initiate your students, or you can start in India. There is no commercial company which is producing secondary metabolites in vitro. Lot of opportunity, including garlic, including onion. That allicin can be produced by cell cultures. You can produce the rarely seen saffron, which is growing in terrorist prone areas, and it needs -4 degrees centigrade for 45 days to flower, and only the stigma is used for as a saffron. In such a scenario, you can grow only that organs, only that stigma. I myself have seen in a conical flask, there are wonderfully 100 to 200 stigmas growing in a conical flask. If you have to cultivate them, you have to cultivate for 3 months, and it needs a space, and it is exposed to external environmental conditions, and it is exposed to thieves, because it is costly. Generally, people would like to steal. There is an answer here. You can produce these secondary metabolites in vitro under in bioreactors, whichever. Only thing is you need to work out. You need a biochemist, you need an analytical chemist, you need a tissue culturist, you need a botanist to identify the plant. And then you can go ahead with the secondary metabolite production. Technology is very simple. I invite any one of you, if you are interested, you can come and work in our lab through KSTA, or I can give you an opportunity to learn all these techniques which we practice every day, day in and day out. And the third one, which is the last but not least, it is the transgenic plants. Transgenic plants, could you able to see what is there in these two hands? Could you able to see? They are golden rice. All of you might be knowing what golden rice are. You know, world, the biggest deficiency problem among children is vitamin A. They get a lot of eye diseases and a lot of problems because of vitamin A. So they thought that if you say that to eat carrots half a kg every day, they cannot. If you can incorporate in staple food, everybody eat rice, is it? If you can incorporate beta carotene production gene into this, transgenic plants can be produced by introducing genes. Do you know which gene has been introduced? It is not from a plant. Earlier, it is a daffodil gene. It is a flower where it has got a lot of beta carotene production. But finally, they could able to take genes from a bacterium and introduce that to convert. The last part of it is missing. The last mile was missing in our rice. So that enzyme gene has been introduced and they could able to achieve. There are more than 60 companies involved in this and 150 patents surrounding this golden rice. But they were ready to give it for the marketing to poor countries, developing countries like African countries, where vitamin A is a biggest problem. That's what plant biotechnology. Like this, every area of biotechnology has got a lot of examples. Coming to animal biotechnology. Do you know what is there in this first picture? Do you know what is there in this first picture? It is Dolly. Dolly the sheep. You know that. It is a cloned one. What is the difference between a cloned one and a normal one? Normal one will be with the union of male and female gametophyte. It is good for diversity and evolution. But if you want to have a similar characteristics, if you want to have another person like you exactly, you can clone. The vegetative cell, if you can clone, you will be having the similar kind of a personality, whatever you are now. Your eyes, ears, nose, and everything will be similar. Maybe mentality varies because even today, if you can clone Gandhiji, I don't think he will be Gandhiji. He has to become Gandhiji because of this epigenes. That is, environmental factors also have influence over your gene expression. But when it comes to animals, because when you think about sheep, what will you think? You need to get good quality of wool. You need to get good quality of, if there are non-vegetarians, good quality of muscle mass like protein. These are the things which we look for this. If you can clone a best animal and can produce a similar kind of wool quality or similar quality of meat, whatever you get it, it is like wonderful. Animal biotechnology could able to do that. They could able to give childless mothers by doing embryo transfers. They could able to produce xenotransplantation. This xenotransplantation, I think you may not be knowing, it is transferring the organs or any like blood or any other things, anatomical things, to from animals to human beings or one species to other species. It is called as xenotransplantation. And there are wonders in animal nutrition. They really could able to do, animal nutrition was improved, like they could able to get, they could able to grow meat in the laboratories. No more killing. We can call it as ahimsa meat because we have grown only meat, only muscle mass. You can do that. That is possible. And people are growing organs. You could able to see the heart which is grown. And I mean, a petri plate, there is an ear. So organs can be cultured by tissue engineering. Tissue engineering is a big field. Vaccines, animal breeding. There are many, many other areas where animal biotechnology could able to do it. Coming to microbial biotechnology, we are done with the plant biotechnology, we are done with animal biotechnology, we are done with microbial biotechnology. Here, bioprocess and fermentation biotherapeutics, the big area, really speaking, antibiotics and surgeries could able to make allopathy type of medicine, modern medicine, a big hit. Now vaccines, antibiotics and surgeries. These are the three things which made the medical field accessible and acceptable to the people. Microbial technology has got a biggest role in this. Microbial technology can get into food, medicine, vaccine industry, and anywhere, wherever you talk. In this, there is another area that is forensic biotechnology, where you can go get into forensic biotechnology by just forensic microbiology is available, forensic biotechnology is available. You can identify even a small piece of hair of a criminal person. You can sequence the DNA, you can identify. You can identify the parents, grandparents. Any legal issues can be sorted out by forensic biotechnology. And microbial biotechnology covers biotherapeutics, bioprocess, fermentation, enzyme production, pigment production, antibiotic production, vaccine production, what else, what not. Because microbial world is such an amazing world where you have a hell lot of microbes, like many microbes are unexplored. You don't have, you can get all colors, rainbow colors you can get from microbes. You can just grow microbes for the sake of colors. You have probiotics, which are, you might be knowing microbiome. When you talk about microbiome, whenever you say that I have a tension in my mind, nobody say that I have tension in my mind. You say that butterflies in my stomach. That is, when you are tensed, when before the examinations, your stomach gut will start getting irritated. That is because of the microbiome influences your mental feelings. That is deciphered. That entire thing is being deciphered. People now know that you are not one. You are lakhs of people. Your emotional values and your emotional feelings, entire chemical reactions are happening because of the microbiome present in your body. And this particular thing is become a big, though we consider it as a biotechnology, microbiology, but still it comes under for the human welfare. You grow probiotics for the sake of human welfare. You identify the microbes which are good for your gut health and grow them, and insulin producing microbes are there. All these things come under microbial biotechnology. Now I'm touching upon little about other areas of biotechnology, that is medical biotechnology. No need to stress upon medical biotechnology. Everybody now, a layman knows what is PCR, what is RT-PCR. It has become, because of that we could able to really control this COVID-19, and the world has become coming to normalcy within 2 years. Otherwise it should have become 5 to 10 years. It is such a disastrous thing which would have happened without this diagnostic test. Molecular biology and vaccines, gene therapies, you can identify the gene problem when the child is before birth. When the mother conceives, within first 2 months, first 3 months, by doing their amniocentic fluid test or some other test, you can say that whether the child is prone to any particular thing, whether you can go for aborting or you can take care. These kind of things are available in gene therapies, and there might be a future thing where our whole genome will be sequencing. Days are not very far where you can have gene therapy for every disease like diabetes or whatever genetic disorders we are having. You can have a therapy with this kind of advancements in medical biotechnology. Marine biotechnology, which is also called as a blue technology, one wonderful field of biotechnology, which is very less explored comparatively to microbial technology, plant biotechnology, and animal biotechnology. This marine biotechnology is a mix of both microbial and plant. You have algal biotechnology, where you can grow algae for the sake of food, for the sake of minerals, for the sake of vitamins, for the sake of biotherapeutics, for the sake of pigments, colors, fuels, what else, what not. And it is the highest biomass on this earth, and you can really unveil many secrets by working in marine biotechnology. And marine biotechnology is the less worked area because of not having access, and it is very simple comparatively than microbial technology, than mm, plant biotechnology, than animal biotechnology. This is comparatively simpler technology because you will be growing whole cells. When plant biotechnology comes, as the complexion in the evolution goes and complexity in the evolution goes, it is difficult to do, difficult to work. Coming to agri-biotechnology, I have given already examples of, because as I already told you, apart from plant, animal, microbial, all other biotechnologies which I am discussing will overlap with either plant or with animal or with microbial, sometimes both. For example, when you talk about transgenics, you use agrobacterium. Agrobacterium is a microbe. You use E. coli. You use many things, that it is a overlap interdisciplinary subject. You need to know microbiology also, you need to know plant biotechnology also, you need to know cultivation also. Otherwise, it is not possible to become a successful biotechnologist. Could you able to see the beautiful tomatoes here? Where you have this tomato and potato. It is a real photo. It is not a photo which is graphic photo. It is a real photo where tomato and potato both belong to same family. They belong to Solanaceae. In tomatoes grow on the aerial portions and potatoes grow underground. But here by somatic hybridization technology, they could able to get tomatoes where they are getting potatoes. That means single plant root is not waste and shoot system is also not waste. You can get tomatoes. This was tried by plant breeders by crossing them. When they crossed, they got even tomatoes. This is one, there is one dirty joke also here. Uh, there is one movie actor, she went and asked Bernard Shaw, and she said, shall we get married? If we get married, we may get children of my beauty and your intelligence. Then he said, if what? If we get children of my beauty and your intelligence, my dear. It will happen when you go for conventional crossing. But when you do somatic hybridization, you're 100% sure that you can get tomatoes only. You will not get tomatoes. There is no chance of tomatoes because you will be screening them at molecular level and you are confirming that both cytoplasm and genome are fused together in the somatic hybridization, and you can get tomatoes here. And you could be able to see the beautiful colors of the cotton, and whatever we wear, it are synthetically dyed. When synthetic dyes we use on our clothes. When we use synthetic dyes, these synthetic dyes cause cancer. You have to remember one thing. Whenever you wear a shirt or a blouse, at that time, if you sweat, if you can see color on your skin, that indicates that it is carcinogenic. You should avoid, abandon that immediately. They are highly carcinogenic. Azole dyes are highly carcinogenic. That is why you know that Europeans and the other people they import from India. Most of the clothes go from India. They because the effluent what they get outside is very dangerous. So what to do? But we cannot wear everyday white clothes, right? We love to have colored clothes. So people thought that coloring is the one between a process. Instead of that, you can get a colored fiber like this by transgenic technology. You have gold color cotton, pink cotton, green cotton, and blue cotton, and these threads can be used directly without dyeing process can be avoided. See the beauty and see the thought process of a biotechnologist who could able to do this wonder. These photographs are also real photos. Coming to food biotechnology, most of you might be, I already gave you an example of meatless meat, that is one area, and the other one is GM foods. Let me talk about meatless meat. When you think about nowadays, veganism is very high. People say that vegan food is very good for health, but you need protein. When you think about protein and non-vegetarians getting converted into vegans, they would like to have a burger which is of chicken burger or a mutton burger. In such a scenario, scientists have identified protein which is giving that taste from plants. They have just have overlapped profiled proteins from all the plants and with mix and match, and they could able to produce meatless meat. There are companies in abroad and even in India beyond meat. There are companies who are growing egg protein kind of a thing, a plant protein. It's some, you would have seen some WhatsApp where eggs are growing to the plant. That is not true, that is a fake video. But you can get protein similar to egg, which tastes like egg, which looks like egg. That is possible. There is a company in Pune, they are doing this vegan eggs. They are doing working on these proteins. And coming to GM foods, these corns are colored corns. They are not colored artificially, they are growing in the fields of the farmers. Any colored food, naturally, not gobi Manchurian, which has been dumped with color. Naturally colored food are having rich antioxidants. They are very good. You can close your eyes and you can have the food which is naturally colored. Every day you have to have your colorful meal. You should have a rainbow meal. That is possible. If that is possible, you can have your purple health. That's what I would like to say here. And coming to GM foods, these GM foods are, for example, if you take caffeine, it may reduce your headache, but it may cause lot of ulcers and it may cause some problems. But you love to have coffee. In such a scenario, they have knocked out a caffeine gene, and you could able to get a coffee without caffeine, with same flavor, with same taste, but there won't be any caffeine in that. It is being produced by genetically modification, and you can store your tomatoes. And people, I have not have that picture here, but I have seen that picture where tomatoes is having potato skin. Inside it will be like tomato. Tomato problem. The farmer, don't underestimate potatoes and tomatoes and onions. They can bring down the governments also. If the price goes up, governments fall down because of this potatoes and tomatoes and onions. They are very, very important. They have separate institutions like Central Potato Research Institution. They have institutions who are working on this. These particular fruit, a wonder fruit, which can become a good salad, which can become a jam, which can become a sauce, which can enter into anything. This particular thing is having a problem of fast decaying. This is because of its tenderness. If you have to transport, there are many times farmers will completely abandon. They don't even harvest tomatoes because they don't get the price for it. Such a scenario, if we can get a genetically modified tomato with potato skin, so it can be stored for a longer period, it can be transported, and it can be transported to the industry where sauce is being made, jam is being made. People are thinking in those lines. They are having so many like brinjals with bt gene, and there are golden rice, and there are potatoes, micro potatoes, and they have purple cabbages. They have so many things which have come out with this GM foods. Though India is still struggling to accept these things, but now CRISPR technology is no more a dangerous technology where you don't use any antibiotic resistant markers. You can produce, you can do wonders. Because of this population explosion, we need to depend on this GM technology to produce both quality and quantity wise improved crop varieties. Coming to environmental biotechnology, the zero carbon footprint technologies are very, very, very important. Right now, with this COVID, earlier people were very cautious about other things, but how much PPE kits and how many masks we would have disposed into the environment without thinking, not even once. And now they say that cotton masks are no good. You need to use N95 or surgical mask at least to get rid of this COVID. It is because it is transmitting very fast. What to do? At that time, you need to really think about bioplastics, which you can use, or nanofibers by using nanotechnology, where you can get this degradable material for everything. Can you see this cutlery? This cutlery is degradable. It is eatable. It is bio cutlery, we call it as. You can eat this spoon. After you can eat this plate, and it can sustain little temperature and cold thing also. It will not become softened, and you can drink hot coffee, and after that you can eat this biscuit. That's how it is being made. It is edible cutlery, we call it as. There are people who resigned from their IBM and big company jobs and started these companies, biocutlery companies. And you have like bioplastics, you have faster degrading enzymes and microbes. You have solutions for environmental biotechnology, where you have solutions for many things. There many things we are dumping left, right, and center. We are using it up, but you can save the environment by using these kind of things and identifying these technologies. And this is one wonderful last slide I have. Biotech marvels, I can call them. See, spider silk. Spider silk is the one. Have you heard about this spider silk? It is being produced by spider, and this silk is stronger than steel. They are making bulletproof jackets with the spider silk. Spider silk is being now a big buzzword in many areas, and people are producing it on commercial scale. You have many other things, such things. You can get silk from banana fiber. You can get silk from jute. And there are many other wonders which are happening in the seri industry, where they are isolating collagens and they are isolating many cosmetics from sericulture waste. That again comes under environmental biotechnology. I have already spoken about xenotransplantation. In xenotransplantation, you have wonderful things like you can transplant from heart or lung or brain sometimes. About this xenotransplantation, we have in our ancient literature, right? Can you give me that example? This is our Ganesha, where the head is being transgenic. This thing, there is a mention. And we have a mention of in vitro fertilization in our Mahabharata. Though it is there, in vitro fertilization is being happened for Kauravas. Though these things are there in our ancient literature, we lost it. Because of so many things, we lost it. But we can again do wonders in this particular area. But all of us should come together. Either genetic engineering or molecular diagnostics cannot be done by a single person. Molecular diagnostics or genetic engineering, if you are doing it, you need a microbiologist, you need a biotechnologist, you need a botanist, you need a biochemist, you need chemist, you need analytical chemist. Then only it is possible. And which is a very rare event in our country, but it is now happening because a subject like biotechnology has arisen. Most of you are teachers of PU colleges. Please encourage students, and I don't consider that is only application part. They need to have very strong basics. They need to be taught with DNA. They need to taught with the central dogma. They need to taught with many other things. First, let them know what a plant is. Let them know what an animal is. What is the difference between a plant cell and animal cell? How can you fuse these two things? How can you make use of microbes? What is a natural genetic engineer? How an agrobacterium can behave like an engineer and it can insert its own gene into plants. Why should it do it? Agrobacterium introduces its gene into plant, causing crown gall disease, where lot of cells with agrobacterium genes will be produced. Lot of roots with agrobacterium genes will be produced. Why should it do it? Microbes are plants. They will never do without any application. They will do for its own survival. What it does? Entire genetic engineering, we learned a lesson from a bacterium, that is agrobacterium. It is a soil bacterium. It has got two genes, that is right border and left border. These are like engine and driver. In between, whoever are the passengers, it will take it. So we used as a vehicle. It is so intelligent, with the right border and left border, it just put the gene into the plant. And what all the genes which it is introducing into the plant genome? It is introducing auxin gene, cytokinin gene, and also a gene which can produce opines. What are these opines? Opines are the food material where it eats. It makes the plant cell, it invades the kitchen of the plant cell, and it gives the recipe, and it makes the plant cell to produce these opines, and it sits and eats it. Why should it do that? Because that particular agrobacterium knows how to cook upma, but it doesn't know, it doesn't have the ingredients of it. So it invades the kitchen of plant. So it gives the recipe. This is the way you have to produce the opine, which is my food. One single cell it invades. One single cell food is not enough for that. That's why it even sends cytokinin and auxin gene, and these cytokinin and auxin gene will make the same kind of cells plenty. They trigger the cell division. So it multiplies its kitchen and it eats on the opines. See the beauty of the technology. The entire genetic engineering plant, genetic engineering is based on this. If a bacterium is so intelligent, why not humans? What they do, they knock out all the genes what that bacterium needs, and they will put the genes. They make their passengers to sit in the bus. Driver is there, engine is there. It is bacterial driver and bacterial engine only, but the passengers are our own passengers. The passenger who can make tomato to stay longer, or who can make the potato to produce healthy starch, who can make the canola to produce good amount of oil, those genes have been introduced, and this bacterial vector, a vehicle, is being used to transfer that into the genetic. Entire genetic engineering is dependent on this. In 3 sentences, I can tell you. You have to identify, cut, insert, and then transfer. It is not all that simple, but it is only this. The concept is only this. The entire genetic engineering could able to do wonders and marvels. Coming to molecular diagnostics, we could able to decipher any genome and identify whether it is a dengue virus or it is a typhoid or anything you can identify because of this molecular diagnostics and immunodiagnostics. It is wonder of biotech again. I can say that these are marvels of biotechnology. My 40 minutes talk is getting over. I can give so many examples and I can make you to feel that biotechnology is doing many things. Yes, sometimes some laboratory escapes, and a scientist, if he is not very cautious or if he is not very careful, biosafety, biohazard, and bioethics, these are the 3 things which we really need to care in biotechnology. You need to be safe while working with these things. You have to have ethics. You cannot release a dangerous microbe which you are growing in the, see, if you have to produce a vaccine, for example, you need to grow that virus, right? You cannot be careless. When you are working with pathogens, you need to produce that particular compound to kill the pathogen. So you have to test in the laboratory. For that reason, you have to grow the pathogens. You cannot afford to be careless. So biosafety is very, very important. And ethics are most important. Though we like it or we don't like it, people talk that it is a laboratory escape. COVID-19 is a laboratory escape. Either intentionally or unintentionally, it battered the entire world. We slowly started forgetting how beautiful life was before 2019, 2020. We started, so many people lost. In Bangalore alone, there are, in Karnataka alone, they say that there are 3,000 kids who lost both the parents. Imagine within 1 week, everything will happen. Life will become topple-turvy. It is because of unexpected practices of irresponsibility of people who are working in laboratories. So being very responsible is very, very, very important. That is why I request all of you to use biotechnology to conserve, to preserve, to reserve. Conserve our existing wealth, nature, conserve, preserve it for your future generations. Reserve it, use it for in a lesser way. Try to have sustainable goals and then you can really have a wonderful life ahead. I'm really glad that today I could able to think aloud, speak aloud, and try to pass on the message what a biotechnologist need to be, what a life scientist need to be. With this, I take this opportunity. It is one way I could have loved to have interaction with you people,